Good evening, how are you all? It is Friday, it is 7:30, well, just gone 7:30, and it is, of course, the new series, the new season for the Arsenal Women's Show. We are going to be looking ahead to the big kickoff, of course, this weekend. Our game at the Emirates, of course, against Liverpool, which is going to be a tough one, isn't it? But we're going to look into that. We're going to look at the other teams around us, how they've strengthened in the summer, where we think we're going to finish this season in the WSL table. Are we going to be celebrating some glory come at the end of the season? We'll have to wait and see. And also, as well, of course, we'll talk about the transfers in, we'll talk about the Champions League exit, and of course a new contract which was signed today. Plus, as well, there's been the release of another kit which is quite nice, so we'll talk about that as well. It's all going to be coming up with our normal guests and some extra guests as well, the other side of the So as you can see, we've got a usual, a familiar face on the channel every week, of course. Andreas, good to see you. How are you this week? Ah, can you not hear me? Can nobody hear me? Is this what's happening?
I can hear you.
Can Andreas not hear me? Or is Andreas frozen?
He's frozen.
I think Andreas might have frozen. Oh, okay. Well, Andreas is frozen anyway. He's back. Can you hear us, Andreas? Hello, can you hear us? Andreas seems to be having a few technical issues. So we'll come back to Andreas in a minute. Harry, anyway, it's good to see you again. I know you've not been on for a while. You're a busy boy, but it's good to see you back. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really excited about the season starting. Really can't wait.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, it seems to be a long time, doesn't it? Because the season finished at the end of May. We've had the World Cup. Obviously, that's meant this season starting later than usually it would do. So it's been a long summer. We've lost Andreas, but I'm sure he'll be back. He seems to be having some internet issues. But don't worry, me and Harry will keep the show going. We should have, hopefully, Amar joining us as well. He's always a bit late, isn't he? We know that. That's fine. So I suppose I really want to start by looking at sort of back on the summer, really, because it's been quite an eventful summer, hasn't it? What with the transfer incomings and stuff like that, and the World Cup and one or two other things. I mean, we've not spoke, Harry, have we, since our exit from the Champions League as well. What did you make of that? Because obviously very disappointing, wasn't it, from the club perspective looking ahead to the season, but it could end up being a blessing in disguise, couldn't it, with less of those kind of games to take up our time later on in the season, maybe?
Yeah, I completely agree that it's a blessing in disguise. Yeah, it'd be great to kind of repeat what we did last season and sort of get to semi-finals and maybe even a final and all that. And it came as a bit of a shock, but it is what it is. We have to bear in mind that the team that we were playing with, they're new. There's a lot of new faces. You know, they are trying to gel. But also we had so many. Even it's the same story. We had. Something like, was it 11 players that were off in World Cup stuff, and then they come back and a week later we're playing Champions League, you know. So there's no warm-up time compared to other teams that get those pre-matches. So I frankly think it's a blessing in disguise. Last year we had so many injuries, a couple of them at or immediately after Champions League matches. What we can do now is focus solely on the WSL, win that title, win the FA Cup, win the Conti Cup, Champions League next year.
Why not? Why not? Indeed. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I think having a few less high pressure games, certainly later on in the season, could be a massive bonus for us. We won't necessarily know that yet until it comes around, but obviously from that financial perspective, it's not great for the club, is it? It's not great for the extra 3 games at the Emirates, or potentially more than 3 games at the Emirates in the group stage and beyond. So there's a financial hit to be made, I guess. But one season out of the Champions League, maybe not a disaster, is it? If we're back straight in it next year, like you said, win the league, back in the group stage straight away, happy days. But yeah, I kind of agree. I think that it could end up being what we've needed this season, because I think this is the season for us, we'll talk about in a minute, to really go for it in the WSL and try and get that league title back from Chelsea's hands finally. And I think now, without that distraction, it may well prove to be the difference, because Chelsea will have that, won't they? Certainly the group stage. But yeah, let's see how it works out. I guess we're not going to know yet, are we, really? But it was disappointing at the time. But I say I'm trying to look at the positives, really.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you, Rich. It's it was disappointing. It was a shock more than anything. It was a shock.
Yeah,
but when you look at the circumstances, it's not really a surprise. So we started off already day one. We've got lack of prep. We're hitting the ground running. There's no downtime for so many of the international players. And I spoke to my wife about Champions League, and I said, like last year we had so many opportunities. We could have gone to Wolfsburg and Leon, and I said let's plan to do a few trips, because it'd be really good to take the girls and go to Champions League. And quite frankly, they've now saved me quite a lot of money. So
that's a
swings
good
and
way
roundabouts.
It swings around. It's a little bit cheaper to go away to Liverpool than it is to go away to somewhere in Spain or something, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
Anyway, Andreas is back. Let's hope his connection is better now. We're sticking back in his normal place. There we go. Can you hear us now, Andreas?
Yeah, I can hear you. I seem to have a very bad Wi-Fi connection tonight. So I hope it's working now. If not, I'll try with the iPhone again. Now I'm in with a stationary computer. It's good to be.
We can hear you fine.
Just 2 days until start of an exciting new season. I can't wait to be at the Emirates and see the kickoff of the new season with a fantastic and exciting team that we have.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it has been. I mean, obviously, I know we spoke about it before with the transfer window, the players coming in. We had a show just after the deadline day had finished, so we kind of talked about that. And the signings really were pretty much everything that we needed for the squad, wasn't it? I mean, if we can't now, we've got pretty much everything in place that we need. We've got some of our injured players who aren't far away from being fit. Beth being the main one, who looks as though she may well be in the squad on Sunday, whether she can play. I'm sure she was on the bench in the Champions League game. So it's all looking rather good, isn't it? It's certainly in terms of the domestic football. We know there's no Europe now, but it is. You're right, Andreas. It is looking set to be a really exciting season, isn't it, for us? And let's hope that it translates on the pitch starting on Sunday. Oh, is he still there? Is he gone again?
I think he's frozen again.
I think we might need to use his phone. I think it seems to be Andreas having a few internet issues. Maybe it's the storm that's that we've had in England. I don't know whether it's reached there yet. Yeah. I mean, Harry, obviously the transfer window. What were your thoughts on that then? The incoming players. Do you think that's exactly what we
absolutely
needed?
Brilliant? I was really chuffed about it. I mean, the big one I was upset that we lost was Hafa de Souza. To bring in Leia Cadena in. She's a really big player. I think she's going to bring a lot to the table. Ilstead already seems to be bringing loads to the table for us. So I'm really pleased about her. But my favourite, definitely, Alessia Russo. Just a stunning signing, absolutely cracking signing. She's already scored a goal. It's looking very strong. So yeah, exciting, really exciting.
Where do you think that leaves? Obviously, Stina, our top scorer last season, she was so important in the last 2 or 3 months of the season. Obviously, with Alessia Russo coming in, do you think that, like in the Champions League games, do you think they're going to be rotated, or do you think we might see them play together in some games?
I think you're going to see a bit of both. I think there's going to be a somewhat of vying for first place. I think you're going to see some adaptations and changes. I'm not worried about Stina. I really like Stina, and when she's on form, she's really on form. Yeah, and it's come up a lot in like when you look at Twitter feeds and social media, you see a lot of like, oh, Stina's out. What's happened to Stina? Or criticisms even. Thing is that we'll play with a style against a team, and each team is different and will bring in a different style. And there'll be a starting 11 that works. And it takes me back to DVD days when Van der Donk was there. She came on as a midfielder, of course, but she's an impact sub. And she'd come in and make a massive impact, and it changed the dynamics of the game. And I think that's what you're going to see when we are maybe in a goal down, or we really need to score some goals. It's a draw or whatever it might be. That's when you're going to see a change, and everything. If they're trying to isolate Lessie out, they'll bring on Stina, who's got a different dynamic, and vice versa. I mean, I don't know what the tactics might be, but that's how I see it playing out.
Yeah, I agree, and I do feel as though there will be occasions when they'll both play. Whether they'll both start too many games, I'm not sure, but I think there'll be games certainly where if Leicester started and Stina's on the bench, Stina will come on and they'll both play towards the end of the game in certain games. I think that's going to happen, and they may well start some games as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's great to have those options, isn't it? Because we've got now 2 absolute top quality strikers in our team, in our squad now, and when you look at the other teams in the league, which we will look at in a little bit more detail, I think we've got the strongest attacking options now in the whole league. I believe we have.
Definitely. I mean, especially when Viv returns, with Caitlin Ford on the wing, with Beth on the wing, we've got some really good options. So it's good to have a strong bench, and you can't get complacent. And this is the other thing that I think people forget is people ask that question of what happens to X, Y, and Z, but you cannot get complacent. Injuries do happen. We saw that last year, and you need a bench to resolve that.
Yeah. And a bench that can make a difference in a game as well, not just players on the bench. You need impact players, as you mentioned before, that can come off the bench and change a game if needed. And we've got that now, haven't we? In nearly every position, but certainly in the attacking areas. I mean, it's difficult to know, isn't it? What's going to be our strongest front 4, if you like? When everybody's fit, it's difficult to pick, isn't it? Because there's so many great options. That's a brilliant situation to be in, isn't it? Because as you said, last year we were down to the bare bones. We didn't really have. Steen had to play every game because there was no other. Even when she was in a little bit of a poor run of form, she couldn't score. She had to keep playing because Viv was injured. There was no one else really, was there, that could play that role? So now we've got abundance of players that can play across that front line. It's so exciting. I can see us scoring a lot of goals this season. That's going to be.
Don't forget, we've still got Gio. We've still got Lena. So we've still got other people who, I mean, I know that Lena's been a little bit questionable at times, but she's also come in and scored some goals recently. And so, I think Gio is also going to find her form. She's also very quick, so she can change the pace. But it'll be great to see when Viv comes back, because she plays a similar role to Stina and Lessie. She's very central, isn't she? Whereas Beth's on the wing and Caitlin Ford's on the wing.
So it's great to have those options, isn't it? We've got a comment here from Emilio says, "How will your goalkeeper feel when your manager wanted Earps? Will it affect her in goal?" Well, I mean, we wanted Alessia Russo in January, and what effect it had on Stina was she went on and became even better, didn't she? She played even better in that last 3 or 4 months of the season. And whether that was part of the fact because your manager's interested in a player who plays in your position, you have to up your game. Maybe that's what happened, and maybe it'll be the same when it comes to the goalkeeper situation because maybe Manu Zinsberger and obviously we've got Sabrina as well. They may have looked at that and thought we need to up our game then, because if a goalkeeper's on the radar, if you like, another goalkeeper, and if it's a goalkeeper like Mary Earps, you don't buy Mary Earps to be your number 2 goalkeeper, do you? You buy Mary Earps to be your number 1 goalkeeper. So it's like between now and January, when the window's open, our 2 goalkeepers now have got to show Jonas that we don't need Mary Earps, haven't they? Really, they've got to step up their game essentially to keep that transfer from happening. Although if Jonas wants her, I'm sure he'll go out and get her regardless. I mean, it's an interesting one though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for getting Mary Earps in. I love Manu, but we have changed goalkeepers quite often, more often than we've rotated goalkeepers more often than other players. And I think we've showed our interest in Mary Earps. I think in January it's possible that she's got a year on her contract, doesn't she?
I think so, yeah, another year, yeah.
So maybe we bring her in January. I don't know whether we pay for her or not, or we bring her in next year. Who knows? But I don't think it's going to. How will our goalkeeper feel? Well, it's kind of like you either get better, or you step up to the plate, or you don't.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only options, aren't there? Really? Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, that's all you can do, really, isn't it? Anyway, we have got Andreas back again. Let's hope this time we can keep Andreas a bit longer. Is your internet okay now?
I restarted the router, and I can only hope. I tried with everything, with the stationery, with the iPad, with the iPhone. I don't know. There's someone against me today and doesn't want to give my comments to the show. But I don't give up.
It feels that way, doesn't it? Hopefully we can keep you with us a bit longer this time. I mean, we're just talking about obviously Mary Earps there, the apparent interest that we've had in Mary Earps and the effect it might have on our current goalkeepers. I mean, Andreas, what are you kind of making of that? Do you think it might affect the goalkeepers' form, the two goalkeepers' form, or do you think that, as Stina did last season when the Russo interest was there, they might step up their game and prove a point almost?
That's my hope too. We were talking in January. What does this make with Stina? And we saw what it made with her. It was a boost to her confidence, or she wanted to prove how good she is and how much we can rely on her. And I hope that this will have the same effect for the two goalkeepers. But you all know I'm not the big fan of Manu Zinsberger. I wasn't when she was at Bayern Munich, and I think she has not really improved in her weak points. And this is always corners and high crosses. It's always a danger, and every time an opponent gets a corner or a free kick and brings a high cross into the 6 yards box, I'm always afraid and think, oh, this could be another goal against us. And I think she hasn't improved in this. She's a very good shot stopper, and one-on-one situations she's very good. But with the high crosses, the high balls, the corners, she has her problems, and she has these problems for 5-6 years for her whole career. And I understand that Arsenal, that Jonas wanted Mary Earps, because for me, Mary Earps is currently one of the best in the world. And if you can get her, then you should grab the chance. And now we showed Mary Earps that we are interested, and we did the same with Alessia Russo in January. And Mary Earps, I think she was willing to leave United and to go to Arsenal, but now she will do her utmost for United. But we don't know what will happen in January. Let's see how our goalkeeper situation develops. But for me, the goalkeeper position is one of the weaker positions in our team. We saw Sabrina for one really big match. This was against City. I was at Meadow Park for this match, and she was fantastic. She was outstanding and saved us many times in this match. But it was only this one really big match. The other matches she played were not the real big ones. So let's see how she can deal with the pressure. And yeah, of course, I would give Sabrina the chance as number one, because we all know that Manu Zinsberger is not happy with her situation right now. Does not depend on the goalkeeper situation at Arsenal, but her private situation. As far as I know, her wife is German, and she's not willing to move to London. So Manu is trying to find another club closer to her wife for her personal reasons. So let's see how this develops.
Yeah, I mean, she did sign a new contract, didn't she, not that long ago? So obviously, with the intention of, you'd imagine, to be staying at Arsenal. But I do think obviously Jonas was looking at Mary Earps, is looking at Mary Earps, and I'm sure that could be a transfer that will happen at some point in the future, whether it's January or, as Harry said, potentially the end of the season. But I mean, look, my kind of thought is, I know obviously the question was what effect would it have on our goalkeepers. My thought is what effect would it have on Mary Earps at Manchester United, when I think she was quite interested to come to Arsenal, and the transfer didn't go through because Man United wouldn't agree to it, and she's got to stay at a club where maybe she doesn't want to be. So it might affect her form at Manchester United more than the interest affects our goalkeepers. Potentially, because it can unsettle a player if they wanted to leave and they wasn't allowed to. We saw what happened with Harry Kane a few years ago when the Man City deal fell through. He didn't score a goal for about 3 months, did he? And then he got over it and was okay again. But it could have an effect on Mary Earps, more so potentially than it will our goalkeepers. Let's kind of hope it does, because I'd rather our goalkeepers aren't affected by any speculation. Terry says, obviously talking about Stina before, he says Stina's world class. And I agree. I think Stina's brilliant, and I'm sure she's going to be a really important player for us this season, even with Alessia Russo with us as well. Emilio says Stina will leave before Jonas getting sacked from Arsenal. I'm not sure Jonas is going to get sacked from Arsenal, is he? Let's be honest. But I don't think Stina will leave either. Not certainly for the time being. Terry says Sabrina D'Angelo will be my first choice keeper this season in the league, and Zinzi in the cups. Yeah, potentially. I don't know whether that's going to be what happens. I would like to see Sabrina get more games this season, definitely. I think she deserves it. But as you said, Andreas, that game against Man City, I thought she was good in most of the games she played. But you're right, that was the big one, wasn't it? An important game. And she really stepped up and played well that game. Terry says, Jonas ain't going nowhere. Why would we get rid of him? Exactly, yeah, why would we? There's no reason to get rid of a manager that's doing a great job. He won us a trophy, and he's shaping this great squad of players that we've been talking about already. That's going to be really good. Emilio says, I think your midfield is weaker than before. Cooney Cross is not ready like Fran Kirby and Cuthbert. Well, Fran Kirby's got a few injury issues, hasn't she? And I'm not sure Erin Cuthbert's fit either at the minute. So our midfield's slightly stronger than Chelsea's right now. Over the season, we're going to see, obviously, over the next few months how that works out. But I'm not worried about our midfield, really. I think with Kyra Cooney Cross coming in on the last day, I think that's given us the player that we were missing in the squad. And now we've got that. So I'm not worried about our midfield. And I don't, I wouldn't necessarily say we're weaker than Chelsea in the midfield area. I don't necessarily think we are. They seem to have, those two players that you've mentioned, Kirby and Cuthbert, both have had a few injury issues. Are they going to play much this season? They're going to be in and out of the team, injuries here, there, and there. You've lost a great player as well, haven't you, in Pernilla Harder? So I don't know. I'm not worried about Chelsea really, not too much. But we'll see. They're going to be the team to beat, obviously. Obviously, looking ahead to the season, which obviously starts, as we said, this weekend. So exciting that it's come round again. We have made some great signings, as we've said. What do we feel about? Actually, before we go on to that, I just want to talk about the goalkeeper. I'm still a little bit annoyed that we didn't sign Daphne van Domselaar, because I've been saying that for the last year, what a great goalkeeper she is. And the fact that she was obviously open to a move to the WSL because she joined Aston Villa makes me think, why didn't we try and get her instead? Rather than going after Mary Earps. I'm not saying Mary Earps isn't a great goalkeeper. She's better than what we've got, yes. Daphne van Domselaar, for me, is younger, and already I think she's better. She's already been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. She was one of the best goalkeepers at the World Cup. And we saw the other night when obviously England played against Holland, what a great goalkeeper she is. And I'm quite annoyed we didn't sign her, actually, or try to sign her, knowing that she's come to England. It's like, why didn't we get her? She's literally the best goalkeeper out there, I think. But anyway, let's not worry about the players we haven't got. Let's worry about more of the players that we have got and look forward to what we've got here. But in terms of the season, I say, we think we're going to do really well this season. We're really optimistic. We've got a great squad of players, but other teams have improved as well. And what are we thinking? I mean, Harry, in terms of the league title, is it going to come down to Arsenal and Chelsea again, or do you think anybody else? Man United went close last season. They've lost some players, got some new ones in. They've had a big turnaround. What are you thinking, Harry, in terms of the league title? Is it just between Arsenal and Chelsea again, or is anyone else going to get involved?
I think it's going to be a very interesting league, and I think we're going to see teams before that hadn't really shown themselves, like Aston Villa. I think Man City again. I think Man City could really bring something to the table. Obviously, they've got Giroud now, who
your favourite player?
Is one of my favourite players. She is one of my favourite players for sure. I shouldn't admit that because I get killed when I say that. But she could be really phenomenal. She's a bit inconsistent, but she can be she'd be a real threat.
Yeah.
I think United have a good base, but they've lost Lessie, so I don't know what they can bring to the table now. But obviously they've got Mary Earps, so she can stop a lot of goals. I think Chelsea will be a force to be reckoned with. I think it might be a Chelsea Arsenal sort of down to us too. But you never know between injuries that, like you said, Kirby is playing with injuries. I think our midfield is really strong. I think Cooney Cross is a phenomenal player. I'm so glad she's come in. But now we've got Frida, we've got Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross correct me if I'm wrong, but she's a real good replacement for Leah Walty. They have real crossover there, so that means that there's some rotation there, because we had issues when Wally was out, we were kind of screwed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kim back in form, so we've got. I mean, I think we've got really strong midfield.
Yeah, I do now. I mean, I was a little bit worried that we were a little bit short, but having signed Cooney Cross now, she kind of fills that gap that we had. And she is a great player. I agree. She was brilliant in the World Cup, and she looks like just the sort of player that we needed. Like you said, I mean, it's almost like, we were talking before in the attack, the different options that we've got. We've got like a Champions League squad that we could rotate for the Champions League and for the WSL would have been ideal. We're not in that now, so we're gonna. But it makes us stronger, then, doesn't it? Because we've now got the option to rotate during WSL games, in between games, and change the team and, throw a few different things in. But yeah, I mean, I think Aston Villa could be the dark horses. They've made some very good signings. We just mentioned the goalkeeper. There's a few others that they've signed as well. Look, really good players. Man United, I'm not sure about them. They've had such a high turnover of players out and in that they might find it difficult at the beginning of the season to get that blend right. Man City, yeah, I'm sure they're going to be. Again, they're always there or thereabouts. They never quite seem to do anything. They're always in that top 3 or 4, aren't they? Just sort of battling away. They'll be there again. And I kind of think the league title is probably going to go down again to Arsenal and Chelsea, just because of the experience that Chelsea have had of being up there every year, the players they've got, the new signings that we've got, and the fact we don't have any distractions now. We can throw everything at that league. And I think we've got a really good chance. But yeah, that's how I kind of see it working out. I mean, Andreas, what are you making then of? Obviously, everybody's made their signings, some good signings. A lot of new players coming to the WSL from other countries. Shows how strong the league is now. What are you making of it all, then, Andreas? What do you think? How do you think it's going to play out? Do you think it will be Arsenal and Chelsea again at the top 2, or do you think maybe someone might sneak in Aston Villa? They're the most likely, aren't they?
I think it will be a really exciting season, and the gap between the top 4 and the other teams closes more and more.
Yeah,
I don't think that teams like Liverpool or West Ham or Leicester can compete for the top spots, but they can take points away from the top teams. We won't see another season in which Arsenal and Chelsea and United are winning everything, and it's only the clashes between them that decide the league. No, I expect that all the top teams will drop points against weaker teams, and then this makes it more exciting. Of course, Chelsea for me is the team to beat, and their experience. They have won everything in the last years. They know how to win the big matches, and the last 2 seasons they were coming from behind, and when it was necessary to win everything, every match in the last part of the season, they won every match. So this experience from them, this knowing how to win the big matches, that's difficult. And when I look at their signings, of course they lost Harder and Eriksson, but they brought in Ashley Lawrence, Sjoeke Nisken, Katrina Macario, when she will be back after her recovery from ACL. Then the striker from the USA, Mia Fischel, and Annick Noen, the Dutch defender, is back from loan from Roma. So Chelsea is the team to beat. I don't see any weakness in their team. United had a big turnaround. They lost Alessia Russo and Ona Batje, Adriana Leon, Kirsty Hansen. They brought in 4 players on deadline day, and interesting strikers. Melvin Mala, Miyazawa, the Japanese striker, Geise from Barcelona. But this big turnaround is also a danger. Will they fit in the system from the very first day? I think they will need time, as we saw last season at City. So maybe United will need the first half of the season to find togetherness and that the system they want to play fits with all the new players. So they might lose a few points in the first half of the season where they don't expect. And this might be a chance for City. They had the big turnaround last season. Now this is a settled team with one more top player. But how long will Jill Roord stay? At least 2 years, and then she will go. And will she be satisfied playing in Manchester while her dream is Barcelona? So I don't know. And Villa, everybody says Villa is the team that can come on, in top 3. They had also a turnaround, and Ebony Salmon, Kirsty Hansen, Adriana Leon, Lucy Parker. They signed a lot of players, but they signed or they have a good squad in the offense. But I see some problems in their defense, and if they have 1 or 2 injuries in their defense, then they might have a problem. Of course, they have a great goalkeeper talent, Daphne van Domsela. It will be exciting to see whether their development goes on and they can compete for a Champions League spot. So I think this year we have 5 top teams, but not a big gap to the others. So as I said, exciting season to come.
I think that's the point, isn't it? I think that the gap has closed now a lot, and that's great. It's great for the league, isn't it? It may not be necessarily so great for us because we're more likely to drop points. We wouldn't have ordinarily have expected to have dropped points in games, and that's happened in the last couple of years anyway. But no, I think it's good for the league. I think it's good for women's football in this country, and it's going to be, I agree, it's a really exciting prospect this season. Emerson's in the chat. He's kind of gone with what we said there. Aston Villa is my surprise package to challenge the top 3, with Man City and Man United fighting for 4th and the 2 cup competitions. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a fair assessment, really, doesn't it? I would say, in the way that it's kind of shaping up. Terry says, evening to Russ, because Russ is in as well. There you go. Emilio says there, why was Jonas so desperate for Cunha Cross on the last day of the transfer? Maybe he knows this season he's winning the league or getting the sack. Well, surely buying a great player in a position that you need isn't a shock, is it? Why would a manager do that? They do that because they want to improve their squad. Every single manager does that. So, I don't think it's a case of winning a league or getting the sack. He's brought a good player in because that was a player that we needed. So there's nothing, absolutely every manager does that, don't they? If they can get the player they need and they want, they go and get them, don't they? Regardless of their situation. So it's nothing about it. I'm sure that's not actually the reason, is it? Obviously, talking about Chelsea, we do need to obviously offer our condolences to Emma Hayes. Of course, her dad passed away this week, and very sad news. I know we give her some banter on this show sometimes when the season's on, but things like that are more important, aren't they? So that's very sad news this week for Emma, and hope she's all okay and all that kind of stuff. And joining us, hopefully he's not in the dark, it is Emma. We can see him. Yay! How you doing?
Yeah, no, it's in my room. Yeah, no need to worry. Like when I'm in my room, it's all good.
Good stuff. Good to see it. Good to see how you're going. Obviously we've just been speaking about how we see the season panning out, the title race, which is what we're going to be involved in, I'm sure. How do you see it then, Emma? Are you still thinking Arsenal and Chelsea like we kind of tend to think it will be, or will there be a surprise this season, an unexpected team challenging for the title? Like last year, Man United were a bit of a surprise to challenge in the way that they did. Do you think that might happen again with someone else?
Well, I mean, it remains to be seen. I mean, Chelsea won it 4 seasons in a row. They've got the best coach and I've said the best players. So, I mean, you can never count them out. It's just you count them out at your peril, and they always have a few. The key is the squad depth. And okay, people will say, okay, they've had a bit of luck, maybe one or 2 games down the years, and that that they haven't had any injuries. It is a fair point, but when you got arguably the greatest manager of the modern era, it really helps, and actually knows how to get the best of their players. And even when if there was ever 1 or 2 injuries, they've had more capable backups in those positions in the past. So yeah, of course they'll rightly go in as favourites. I think our squad depth finally we arguably had one of the best transfer window for goodness knows. I mean how many transfer windows Jonas was saying recently. So yeah, I think we definitely got the squad to challenge if everybody can stay fit. Leah and Laura still to come back as well. Yeah, I don't see why we can't challenge them. But yeah, it's going to be. I was listening to a 5 Live. Well, I wasn't in the whole thing on BBC 5 Live last night. It was with Tom Gary, Ellen White, and Gilly Flaherty, and they were saying, they made a very pertinent point. They said Arsenal look excellent, or look really excited going forward, but how will they cope without Leah until January? You see, because losing Raffaelli and Leo, which was arguably our strongest partnership for quite some time. And the fact that it was so annoying that they didn't really get that many games together because they kept on getting injured. And now Leah's had the three injuries, fourth injury she's had in however long. It's been like 3 seasons. So it's going to be interesting for us. The key will be who will be the actual centre back pairing for us. Will it be Amanda and Lotta? Will it be Jen and Lotta or Amanda and Jen? But yeah, I think they're all capable in their own regard. But that's going to be the key, especially until Leah comes back. How will they fill that role? Will Noelle play it right back instead of Laura? But yeah, you can't argue. You only got Steph at left back. I mean, she's arguably the world's best left back, and she's only going to get better. And the fact that she'll be back with Beth as well, well, only I'm excited about that link up as well with her and Caitlin. And going forward is not a problem. And Kim and Leah in the midfield with Frida, it's great. But I think the key for us, if we're going to challenge this season and try to use up Chelsea, is going to be that centre back pairing at least for the first third of the season. So yeah, I think us two are the favourite. Sorry to sound like I'm rambling on a bit. But yeah, no, Manchester United, it's interesting to see. Yeah, their squad depth is decent. They've got some proven backers in Gazer and was it Melvin Mallard? But will they be? Will they cover the goal? Will they make up for Paris? Is all right, but will they make up? Letting Martha Thomas go to Spurs was a bit of a surprise, I thought as well. But again, it's whether Mark Skinner can get them to gel. With get those new players to blend in quickly and get them all to gel. But defensively, they're all right. But again, in the big games, they always come up short. So, especially against Chelsea. As for City, yeah, I mean, their recruitment still, I don't know why letting Haley Grasso go, only there for 2 years. Ward is a good replacement. Okay, I would say last season they were a bit reliant on Bonnie Shaw for most of their goals, but they've still got a fantastic front three in with Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly. Again, it's going to be at the back. And if you think about it, okay, their home record against the big teams is good. One thing we have to do if we're going to is certainly try to win at the Academy Stadium for once. So our record the last few seasons is absolutely shocking. So yeah, it depends. Again, it depends on whether they can be solid at the back and whether Gareth Taylor can also get them to get them to gel quickly. So yeah, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say United and City can't challenge, but again, you can see with Chelsea and Arsenal that maybe they've got slightly better squad depth. And in regards to Villa, yeah, I'd say they can challenge as well with their goalkeeper. And of course, you've got Rachel Daly. They've signed a few good players, and got good management, Carla Ward. I think another dark horse, which maybe perhaps haven't gone mentioned, I would say as well, which was mentioned in the BBC, Emma Sanders' column in the BBC the other day. And maybe Brighton could surprise a few this year because look who they've signed as well. And they've signed Vicky Lozada, Pauline Bramer. So these are proven players as well. So, I mean, it's a long shot, but you wouldn't rule them out. But outside of those teams, it's really difficult to see anybody challenge the top two for the title, I think.
Yeah, I kind of think that, as we mentioned before, despite some of the smaller teams, if you like, or traditionally smaller teams have improved a lot, it's difficult to see anybody other than obviously Arsenal and Chelsea winning the league, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. But let's see how that kind of pans out. Obviously, throughout the season, it is going to be very, very interesting, though, isn't it? Imperative Views in the chat says Sabrina should start ahead of Manu. We kind of said that a bit earlier, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen, if I'm honest. But we'll have to see. Terry says if Rachel Daly gets injured, Villa's season is over. Really? I don't know. I think they've got, I tell you what, I think Lucy Hansen's a good player, for Villa. I saw her play for Scotland as well. She's very good as well. So I'm not, I don't think Rachel Daly is the only decent player they've got. They've got a good squad now. James was in the chat. Hey, I've been up you well. He says Chelsea have a good number of England players and top internationals. Yeah, they do. We know how good Chelsea are. We just need to make sure that we are better this season. Which that's going to be tough to do, and we know it is. But James says, have Chelsea filled their stadium for the WSL, or they've filled their little tiny stadium. They've never filled Stamford Bridge, have they? So no, because they won't do, because they've not got the fan base that we've got. But anyway, let's see. We've got Terry says, other than Harry, let's stop being Mr. Nice Guys and tell the truth. No one is stopping us this season. Well, let's hope you're right. Let's hope you're right. I hope that no one does stop us this season, but it's certainly not going to be interesting. Terry says Daly scores all their goals. Well, last season she scored all their goals. got a lot of new players now, and they might adjust the way that they play. You know, Stina scored a lot of our goals last season, and this season they're going to be more spread around a little bit, I think. But we'll see what happens. We'll have to wait and see. But let's. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do it at the end of the show. Actually, we'll give our prediction of where we think Arsenal are going to finish. But we'll wait till the end of the show. Now, there was something that obviously happened a little bit. Was it yesterday? They released this rather funky kit. Now, what do we make of this? I mean, Stella McCartney got involved again. She did some horrible stuff a couple of years ago with some of the kits that she produced. This one I actually quite like. I've got to be honest. I do quite like it. What I don't like is the fact it's £110. I mean, what is going on with that? Ridiculous, really. You know, when you think about it. Another shirt. So you've got three men's shirts. Now you've got 3 women's shirts, and one of them different. So basically, you've got 4 shirts, and some people are going to want to buy them all. And that's going to cost you nearly £500 to buy every single Arsenal shirt for this season, the main home and away shirts, the third shirts for the 2 teams. I mean, what do we think of the shirt, Andreas? Do you like that kit, first of all? I think it's quite nice. I've got to be honest. I do quite like it.
When it was leaked a few weeks ago, I thought it looks horrible. But now, when you see the video and the shirt on the players, I must say, it looks really nice. And I will try to see it live at the Armory during the weekend, and let's see. I think the special in this shirt is that it's a women's away shirt. The first time that the women's team have a shirt of their own, and this is a positive sign for the development of women's football. That they get their own shirt. Of course, it's also to make more money. The more shirts you have to offer, you can sell, you earn more money. And 100 or 110 pounds is ridiculous. Normally, it's just a T-shirt, and I don't know what the production costs are. Maybe it's 30 pounds or so. But this is a development we can't stop. And the positive thing is the women's have their own away shirt. This is I think we are the first team that does this, and this is a really good sign, and I hope it looks, if you see it live or, if you wear it yourself, then I hope it's better than the first photos were. So let's see. I will check it at the Armories at the weekend, and I seem to like it, and probably I will buy it.
I mean, there'll probably be quite a few people wearing it, I would imagine, at the weekend anyway, because it's just come out and people like to get them, don't they, and stuff like that. And I'm sure it'll be popular. I mean, in terms of, obviously, you know, it is the first time a club have had a separate away kit for a woman. I actually think that what happened was the women's players looked at that monstrosity that the men wore at Brentford the other night and thought, there's no way we're wearing that. Please give us something else. Then Arsenal come up, or Stella McCartney's come up with something different for them, because that horrible away shirt the men have got, I feel that's just ridiculous. So I'm quite glad that they have got a different one, and we won't have to see that more than we need to. I mean, Harry, do you like that shirt? And as Terry says here, he says, can't wait to see Harry's little Gooner girls in it. Yeah, I can see them looking quite smart in that kit, actually. It'll cost you a few quid though, won't it?
Yeah, really bloody would. I mean, that the men's shirt, the green and black one he's talking about. I mean, it looks like somebody played with slime. I'm not a fan. I mean, I see they don't have that shirt in men's sizes.
Not yet. No.
And maybe they won't, and maybe that's fair enough. But I might buy it anyway. I might buy it and wear it. You know, I've got the physique and figure, so I think I'll pull it off. But I actually might, and I might get it for the girls. We'll see. I don't know what the girls, the kiddie sizes. It's 110 quid for adults. It's probably like 85 quid for.
It probably will be
for the kids.
It'll be expensive.
Yeah. Christmas. We'll do it for Christmas. That's it. I showed it to my wife. She wasn't so keen, to be honest.
Was that just the price, or was it the kit itself?
No, she didn't see the price. She wasn't that keen on the style, but she doesn't like football shirts. I've just been trying to get her to become a Gooner. She's not interested in football. Slowly, give me time. She's been to a few matches.
Yeah, we saw it at the Emirates for that Wolfsburg game. She was there, wasn't she?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, when we lost.
So It's just a matter of time, really. I'm sure it's just a matter of time, isn't it? And it'll be fine. I mean, Emma, are you going to be getting that new shirt in the women's sizes? Of course, they're selling them in a minute.
To be fair, it does look a monstrosity, but I don't know. I just wish they'd keep some of the away kits for people. I really like the black kit from last season. It was so sleek and really classy as well. I don't know. This takes me. Yeah, just having seen that kit again, it was absolutely horrible. Honestly, I think even the third kit, I thought initially was good, but that doesn't look that much better either. Well, it's okay. I think they could have done with that. But maybe it reminds me of. But I don't know. Do you remember the season we won the title in 18-19, where they were wearing that turquoise away kit, and that looked like something that had come out of an industrial paint company or something. It reminded me a bit of about that. But yeah, I don't mind this new pink kit, but it's gonna be interesting to see. They actually looked alright in the pink kit last season as well. But I mean, £10 for that. I mean, you can get a meal for two for less than that, couldn't you? Somewhere. So who knows? But yeah, no, I don't know if it's that much, even with the discount that they provide often for being an Arsenal member. I don't know. I think I might just stick to the red and gold home shirt. That's always the best one, isn't it? So let's see. But probably if it's safe to say if it's that much, then I probably won't be buying it. But let's see.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that puts me off really is the price. I do like the kit. I think it looks really nice, and I do think that when they're wearing it in the game, I think the Man United game's the first game we're going to wear it to. I think it's going to look great actually as a kit on the pitch as well. But yeah, the price is ridiculous really. But that's the way it is now, isn't it? And I think Andreas is right. As much as we want to think that they're supporting the women's team by giving them a different kit, I guess the underlying theme is the money they're going to make from it, because they're going to sell a lot of them. I think there's no doubt about that. The women fans will be buying them in huge numbers because that it's just for them. They'll feel like it's for them, won't they? So they'll go out and buy it. Of course they will. Why not? But yeah, it's going to make the club a lot of money, and fair enough. But yeah, I do like it. It's just an extra kit that we've got too many of them as it is, and we release three new kits every season. It's mad. And this season, 4 new kits. And next season there'll probably be 5 new kits because they'll give the women a different third kit and a different away kit. And in the season after that, they'll have a different home kit as well, and there'll be 6 new kits released, and they'll start doing that every year probably coming up. But anyway, I do like it anyway, and I can't wait to see him wearing it next Friday. But yeah, it is just extra expense that we can all do without at this moment, really. Terry says, do you think this new shirt is to help pay off the 65 million wasted on Havertz? Quite possibly. It'll go towards it, won't it? I suppose.
Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Come on.
Rajendra says the yellow is too bright. Yeah, I don't like it at all. The other night I was watching that game against Brentford. It was doing my head in with that kit. I'm like, can you not change the kit? It is too bright. It's horrible. Rajendra says pays for the transfers. Well, it might do. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much money Arsenal make from the kits actually, because obviously we've got to deal with Adidas, haven't we? So we get the money from Adidas rather than much from the kit sales. Adidas will get a lot of that, I would have thought, but I don't really know how it works. But I'm pretty sure we'd have to sell quite a lot of them kits to pay for some of the transfers and wages at some of the players. It's certainly in the men's team, not so much. So there we go. Terry says, do it, Harry. All that money you'll be saving, not going to Europe. There you go. You see, you can spend it on the kit instead for Christmas. That's what you can do with the money that you're saving, not going to Europe. So there you go. But yeah, actually, Terry says, where do you eat, Emma? For 50 quid in Herne Bay, you can get a meal for 2 and a bottle of wine. Yeah, I mean, 50 quid is more than enough for a meal, isn't it? But I mean, don't forget, I mean, Amar's paying London prices, isn't he? So, it's going to be a bit more expensive than in Herne Bay.
But no, there's some high-end restaurant, some decent restaurant you could get somewhere.
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, you can pay £100 for a meal for one in some places in London. You know what I mean? So it's not, it's what you want to do with your money, I guess. I think I'd rather buy the Arsenal. Sorry?
That? 50 quid in London's a takeaway.
It is, yeah. In certain places in London, it is, yeah. You wouldn't even get a takeaway for 50 quid, would you? In some places.
Oh, it'd be a lot cheaper. You get 2 takeaways.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather spend my money on the shirt actually than a £50 takeaway. But anyway, but yeah, so it's a nice kit, but yeah, expensive, and I think that's going to maybe influence my decision as to whether I buy it or not. Is probably going to be the reason. Now, there's been some other news which is not necessarily going to cost us any more money, but it's maybe cost the club a bit more money, and it is, of course. So great news, of course. Katie McCabe signing an extension to her contract, so she's going to be staying with us for a good few more years, which is great news, of course. Fantastic player, great character as well. Katie yellow card. He's going to get a few more yellow cards for Arsenal, I'm sure, in the next few years. I mean, Andrea, sorry, you must have been delighted when we heard that news. It was great, wasn't it, to know that we've got her signed up again?
Yeah, and I must say I was surprised that she signed before the season starts. That the club announced it before first match. I thought that Katie will wait how the season develops, how much minutes she gets on the pitch, and then decide what to do, because there was interest from Chelsea, and now we read that City and Bayern Munich were interested in her. She's 29 now, 28, 29, so she's in the peak years of her career, and maybe if she signed 2 or 3 year deal, this is maybe the last big deal, big contract she signed. So I was a bit surprised, but of course it's great news for us. She's a versatile player. You can use her as left back, as left winger. She scores the bangers. She scores the fantastic goals. She's always a fighter and the role model on the pitch, and what she brings to the team also off the pitch. I think she's a leader off the pitch, and last season when all our leaders were injured, she stepped up. She was captaining the team, and we need her in this team. And if I remember correctly, she made appearance in every match. Maybe she missed one or two matches when she was suspended with yellow cards, but she was available. She was in the lineup in every match. So her commitment to the club shows that it's for her. It's not the most important thing that she plays in one role as a left back, maybe, or as a left wing. She's prepared to play whatever position Jonas has for her. And you need such players, such versatile players, leaders on the pitch. So I'm very, very happy that she stays with us.
Yeah, no, it is really, really good news. And yeah, you're right. I mean, was at this time in her career, this was probably a big contract for her, really, wasn't it? At the point that she is. So it's great that she's decided she wants to stay with us. And I think that just goes to show maybe what's going on at the club behind the scenes as well, that players like her are prepared to want to stay and, continue with this project that we've got going on with Jonas over the last couple of years. So it's great news, and she's a great player. And I think she did play in every game in the WSL last season. I think she was the only player that played in every single game. I think she may have missed 1 or 2 in the cup games, but she played on the right-hand side as well, didn't she, last season quite a bit as well? But that goal she got against Man City was from the right-hand side, wasn't it, when she cut in and smashed it with her left foot? Great news. I mean, Harry must be delighted. We all love Katie McCabe, don't we?
I mean, she's absolutely one fan favourite. Definitely one of my kids' favourites. My daughter was singing Katie McCabe. It was the cutest thing. I heard that Katie signed the contract quite some time ago, possibly even before the summer, and they've just sort of sat in it for a while. So I kind of knew that she was staying. I didn't have any doubts that she was going. I really didn't think that it was an issue. But I think they announced it at a key time because it's a massive boost and it's marketing and it's the right thing to do. And I think it's phenomenal. Really, really good. I never thought she would be going to Chelsea. I never thought that for maybe Bayern Munich or something like that. Because it's like sometimes you think I want to change. But I couldn't see her going anywhere else in the WSL. I mean, she's a proper gooner. She's been here for a long 8 years now.
8 years.
So we've got McCabe.
We've got Katie McCabe, indeed. We have for a little bit longer, which is great news, of course. And I'm sure we're going to be excited by some more of her great goals as well over the coming season and beyond that as well, because she tends to get a few a season, doesn't she? I mean, obviously you're delighted about Katie signing and staying, and it's great news. And it is. I think Harry's right, isn't it? The timing of it just before the start of the season as well is really good. And I'm sure there's going to be a few Katie McCabe shirts bought in the shop at the weekend, actually, the new shirt with Katie McCabe on the back. I mean, Emma, you must be happy though that she signed because she's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can you ask for? She's been a great servant, yeah. And even though she was coming up to the ranks, and even spoke about it, even when she wasn't thinking her career was going very far when they signed her from Glasgow City all those years ago, she's just grown into a great player. You know, she always had that potential from when we signed her. Whether it be the assists, she's just. Oh, well, and everyone says Beth is the queen of the assist in our team, but you know, Katie had done half put in some amazing balls as well. How many did she through from the left-hand side to set up goals last season? Most notably for Frida against West Ham and against, who was it, Laura against Manchester United, for example. She's lethal down her left-hand side. You give her a space of peril, and yeah, as we know, she just loves banging them in. She scored another banger from a corner, which initially I thought she didn't mean in the World Cup, but when you see it again, of course she meant it. So yeah.
No, she said, I saw an interview with her today. She said she didn't mean it, but
it's
she
going to
didn't
be
mean it as a goal. But.
Well, I mean, and Sam Matterface in the commentary goes, of course, she only scores bangers. So yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting, especially if we get a free kick on the left-hand side. Now that gives us option. It's going to be intriguing. Will it be Steph who takes it, or will it be Katie who takes it? So, but they're both capable of scoring from corners as well and putting it on a plate for our defenders. So, I mean, it's going to be great. But no, she's a brilliant servant for the football club. And it's good that she managed to stave off the interest from the other teams. If we lost her, then I think maybe would have been questioned the onus. But no, he doesn't let our key players go. He ties them down, and this is another. I think we look forward to another great season. She's only 28 as well. Remember that as well. So I think she's still got a lot more to give, and she's just going to keep on being an integral part of our squad, really. So it's great news.
Yeah, it is great news. Yeah, and I think it's important anyway for any team to keep your best players. You know, if your best players start leaving, that's a bad sign, isn't it? It means that the players aren't seeing the good future that might lie ahead at the club if they want to leave. So, you know, the fact that we've managed to keep all our good players, you know, you look at the contracts that we've had renewed in the last couple of years. Obviously, Viv renewed her contract, didn't she? Beth has, and you know, obviously Katie has now, Leah Williamson, and all our key players are tied into the club, haven't they? So something's going on right inside the club, isn't there? Behind the scenes that we don't know about to make these great players want to stay. They can see what's happening, and that's great news. And that makes me feel even more optimistic for the future because when your best players are leaving, it strikes, you know, Man United fans. If I was a Man United fan, although they brought some good players in, a lot of their top players wanted to leave. You know, obviously, Alessia's come to us, Mary Earps wanted to leave. They've lost a few others. To me, that's not a good sign inside the club. So the fact that we're keeping our best players, that's great news. And Kate is such a key player to us, and we would miss her if she wasn't there, wouldn't we? So great that she signed. Terry says, happy 28th birthday to Kate. It was last week. I think it wasn't that long ago, was it? It was the other day. So yeah,
last week.
Well, was it? Yeah, something like that. It was very recent, wasn't it? Terry says, Katie is the Arsenal women's Tony Adams. Well, in a way, she is, yeah. She many yellow cards. Terry, we just had that one here. Terry says, 100% agree, Andreas. After what she done last season, she deserved it. Yeah, of course she deserved it. Absolutely 100%. But yeah, but brilliant news. We're so happy about that. And she's going to be a big part of the team again this season. I'm sure she's going to play a massive part in everything that we do going forward because she's an absolute legend. Now, of course, we've sort of touched on the start of the season a little bit, but we haven't really mentioned too much about the game itself. Coming up on Sunday, the opening WSL fix at the Emirates as well. Another big crowd. Looks like it's going to be over 50,000 tickets sold. And we are playing a team that did quite well last season and are likely to improve this season. So I think it's quite a tricky game to start with. I know the circumstances were different. They did, of course, beat Chelsea on the opening day the opening weekend last season, didn't they? That a surprise victory that they got. I know they were at home, whatever. And this time, obviously, they're coming to the Emirates with a big crowd. It's a totally different set of circumstances, but they are capable, aren't they, of beating big teams. They showed that last season. They did pretty well. They've established themselves back in the WSL. I think they'll improve this season. But if we were going to pick a game to play on the first game at home, it'd be one of the ones that we'd maybe look at and say, yeah, we wouldn't mind playing Liverpool at home at the Emirates on the first game, would we? Let's be honest. But I think it's going to be a difficult game in many ways. I mean, Andreas, how do you see it playing out on Sunday? Obviously, the big crowd's going to help, isn't it? Because how often at the Emirates, when it's been a big crowd, we've rose to the occasion, haven't we? Generally, that's what we've done.
Yeah, but of course it's a difficult game because it's the first game of the season. No team knows where are we standing. How is the form of our players? Of course, we had these 2 Champions League matches, but this was like pre-season, and now the season really starts. It's a fresh start for everybody, so it's difficult. And yeah, we saw last season what Liverpool is able to do. Of course, they were at home, and it were 3 penalties which brought them the victory against Chelsea. But anyway, you have to beat Chelsea first, and they did it. So let's be careful and let's not say, oh, this will be an easy win, or it's only whether we score 5 or 6 goals. And no, we have to be concentrated from the first moment, because for Liverpool it's an easy start. If they grab 1 point, it will be like a victory for them. 1 point away at one of the top teams would be fantastic for them. If they win, oh well, this is just, they have won the whole season then. So if they lose, everybody says it's normal. So the pressure is on us, and that's the difficulty. But we will have a big crowd cheering us, and the girls said in many video clips that the Emirates feels more and more home for them. And yeah, I really hope that the big crowd, this feeling of Emirates as a fortress and a home stadium will help us. And yeah, with the squad we have, with the attacking line we have, it must be possible that we score 2-3 goals, and even if we don't keep a clean sheet, then it should be enough to win this game. Yeah, let's think 1 year back when we played the Spurs at the Emirates. It was a fantastic match, this 4-0. So it would be great to start the season with such a match. But anyway, I think we are the better team, and at home, yeah, I'm convinced that we will win.
Yeah, I mean, we should do, shouldn't we? Let's be honest. I mean, it would be quite a surprise if we didn't win the game. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first game of the season, you're right. We don't really know exactly. It's been a strange pre-season. Where, like you said, we had the Champions League games. We've had international break over the last week or so, which probably hasn't necessarily helped because players haven't been at training. We haven't been able to prepare for the game, the first game. But usually, the first game of the season, you've had a pre-season, you've had some friendlies, and you go into that game really prepared. We've had our players all over the place because we had the World Cup, we had the Champions League, we've had the international break. It's been a bit of a mess, really. So we're going to obviously suffer more than Liverpool will, because our players played in the latter stage of the World Cup, most of them, and they've been away on international duty, all these kind of the Champions League and everything else. So we've got a slight disadvantage in that sense in terms of preparation. Liverpool have had nothing else to focus on other than this game, and they will be more prepared maybe for this one game. Is that going to be enough for them to cause a shock result? We'll have to wait and see. But I agree with Anders. I'm quite confident that we've got enough quality about our team now and our squad to be able to win at home at the Emirates with 50-odd thousand fans there, without too many, hopefully not too much of a stress. I mean, Harry, what are you making this game? I think it's got the potential to be quite difficult in the circumstances that we've said, but we should have too much quality for Liverpool, shouldn't we?
I think we'll win. Well, I know we'll win. I don't think it's going to be as easy ride as some of us think. I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory to us. I think our defence is a little leaky and but we don't have that cohesiveness that we need on that defence. Like, we've got the weakness with Manu, who will probably start. We've got defensive players who haven't had that chance to gel yet, albeit very good players. So I think our defence is our weak point. I think they will score a goal, but we'll win. It'll be 2-1.
Well, I mean, I would be just as delighted with a 2-1 win as what Terry's gone with. Terry's gone with an 8-0 there. He's going to 8-0. I don't think it'll be 8-0. Rejander's a bit more confident. He's gone for 3-0 to Arsenal, which if we're at our best, I would say that's not unreasonable. Are we at our best right at this moment in time? I don't know. Oh, Andreas, you didn't give us a score prediction. Harry's gone 2-1. What's your score prediction?
I say 3-1. I think we will score 3 goals, but we will concede 1 as always. So, but we will be able to score more than we concede, and I say 3-1.
Yeah, that 3-1 would be a great result. Obviously, what are you making of the Liverpool game? We should win, but it doesn't always work as you hope, does it? But I'm fairly confident.
Well, since they beat us in a WSL game in July 2016, we've never actually conceded a home goal against them. The only time they've actually scored against us was in a nervy 3-2 win in the COVID hit season in 2019-20. So in fact, we beat them 4-0 in the cup. We've always had big, strong wins against them. Okay, there was only 1-0 I remember when that same season. But yeah, I think that the good thing is that they probably won't have to be facing with Miedemar, who love scored against them that season. He even scored a hat-trick against them and a wonder goal in the season we won the title, if memory serves me right. So, yeah, I think that we should win this. There might be a few early season nerves, as I said, with that centre-back partnership with Amanda and Lotta, if it turns out to be, or whoever plays at centre-back. Maybe they'll sneak 1 goal. But I think we'll be too strong. And even if Beth and Viv don't play, I can see possibly being 3, possibly even 4-1. So, I mean, yeah, I would expect to win, but not taking anything for granted, as Harry rightly says too. So yeah, I think we'll get the 3 points. But with any managed side, they'll always make you work for it.
Exactly, no, they will. I think we beat them 2-0 both home and away last season, didn't we? So we got the wins, but they wasn't overly comfortable, were they? I mean,
they weren't. No, they weren't.
Yeah, so we got. I mean, yeah, I think that it's going to be. It's a game we need to be cautious about. As we said, I don't think we can take it for granted. We certainly not. It's not going to be. Well, I don't imagine it's going to be an easy victory. I think we're going to have to work hard for it. But I think if we do get ourselves in front in the game, I can see us getting, pulling away from them a little bit, because I think we have got the quality. We'll have the crowd. I think the crowd are going to be well up for this game. Obviously, Alessia Russo is going to be making her debut either from the start or from the bench. That's an exciting moment as well, isn't it? I kind of agree with what we said there about the defence. Not because they're not great players, but because they haven't had time to work on that unit. And, we mentioned, didn't we, before, about when Leah Williamson and Hafaya Souza are not there now, neither of them are playing. If you remember last season when they were both injured, we actually had a good run, didn't we? We won away at Lyon. We kept a few clean sheets in the WSL, even though we had, Steph Catley was playing at centre-back, wasn't she? And you've got to say, Amanda, you'd imagine Amanda is going to start because of, how great she is. And I don't think Leia Cadena is probably quite ready yet, is she? Because she didn't play in the Champions League game and stuff like that. So I'm not really worried too much about that, other than the fact that the partnership itself hasn't had a chance to work much. But I'm not overly concerned about that. Yeah, I think Liverpool might score. Actually, no. I'm gonna go with Vijandra. I'm gonna go 3-0 to Arsenal. I think it'll be tricky, and I think we might have to. It might take a while for us to get the first goal, but I think once we do get that first goal, which I think will probably be in the first half at some point, I think we'll then relax. The crowd will lift us, and I think second half we'll get a couple more goals and we'll make some changes. I think Stina and Russo will swap places and stuff, and I think it's going to be a great game, and I think we will end up with 3 good points and start the season as hopefully we mean to go on, because that's what we want to keep winning, especially at home. I think we need to win most of our home games, don't we? If we're going to be winning that league. Rajendra says Emirates pitch is bigger. Yeah, it's a lot bigger, but in some games that's helped us. I think in other games maybe it hasn't always done so, especially in the Champions League against, some good passing possession teams. We've struggled maybe sometimes at the Emirates, but are Liverpool good enough to be able to exploit those extra spaces against us? I'm not sure if they are, if I'm honest. I'm not sure if they will. So I think that might go in our favour this time. Terry says first goal, Baldy, 9 minutes 26 seconds. Wow, that is very precise, isn't it? Maybe put some money on that and you'll probably win a few quid. But don't let Ivan Toney here, because he might put some money in it as well. He's not allowed to bet. But I think we're all pretty confident we're going to win the game. Obviously, Andreas is flying. Are you flying tomorrow, Andreas, are you?
Yes, flying tomorrow. Yeah.
Are you staying in your usual hotel, or is it a different one?
No, this time I have another hotel near Paddington. It's the Premier Inn.
Oh, that's nothing compared to the red carpet they're rolling out for you, is it?
No. What's that? Were they all booked out, were they, this time?
Sorry?
Was they all booked out? Your normal one, was it booked out, or did you just try something different?
No, it was extremely expensive, nearly double the price than normal, and then I had to search for an alternative because I have to be in London for this first match for the start of the season, and yeah, I found this hotel near Paddington. So let's see. The most important is that I arrive tomorrow and I will be ready and prepared for Sunday's match.
Fantastic. I'm surprised I can give you a discount, seeing as you're their most loyal customer over the last couple of years. They should have given you a discount, shouldn't they? Really, but anyway, I'm sure maybe next time they will. Harry, are you going? Are you on Sunday?
Of course, I'm going on Sunday. That's almost like a silly question. I will be there sitting in block 2, singing my heart out. I'm like second row in. It's brilliant. I can't wait. I'm also going to be going to the Man United match, which is I don't often go to the away matches, but we'll be there.
I'm trying to get a ticket for that actually, because they moved it to the Friday, didn't they? Which was a bit annoying.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was going to go on the Sunday for definite, and they moved it to Friday, and so I didn't get tickets. And now I want to go, so I'm trying to get tickets for it.
It's sold out.
It's on.
It's a 7:30 kickoff. I realised. Yeah, it's a 7:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
7:30
on Friday, yeah, which is a bit annoying, isn't it? But anyway, I'm still trying to get tickets, so hopefully I might be going as well to Man United, which would be good. Terry says, "Can't you sleep in your private jet?"
What does he have before? Does he eat, or did this guy? You know, you can see his last 5 letters of his name is 8. No wonder he predicts 8-0 all the time. He's had a few. You can tell he's had a few.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't predict 8-0 all the time, but he's predicted 8-0 this week.
You can't afford. Do you know how much a private jet's cost? We're not billionaires here, mate. Honestly, yeah.
Is everyone going to be at the Tolly beforehand?
In the Tolly, yeah. Will you be going to the Tolly, Andreas?
Don't know. Maybe yes.
The supporters club are all going to the Tolly, and we're doing a walk to the stadium. So anyone who's in the chat, like Terry and Raj and Emilio, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if you can. It'd be nice to meet everyone face to face.
Yeah, get yourself down to the Tolly. I think the walk started at 12:30, isn't it? I think that's when it's due to. Yeah, because obviously the game starts at 2. So
I was just thinking the Thai food that they have there.
Yeah, it's quite busy, to be fair, on a match day. It does get quite busy, and last time we were there, we didn't even go in. We stayed outside because you just couldn't really get in there. So, but it's definitely worth going for the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. And the walk to the stadium is pretty cool as well. So, if you're around, get yourself along to the Tolly and enjoy that, because it's going to be good. And you'll meet Harry as well, which is even better. That'll be even better than going to the Tolly. Just the fact that you can meet Harry. That's worth going just for that reason alone, isn't it? So
what can I say?
definitely do that if you're around. But it is going to be good. You're not going, are you, Emma? Can you not make that on Sunday?
No, I couldn't get the time of work Saturday, but it's okay. I've got a few games lined up in future. I'm going to the Villa game hopefully in 3 weeks. Manchester City as well. So no, I think there's still a lot to look forward to. But yeah, no, I'll be cheering them on for wherever I follow. I mean, my lunch or whatever. But yeah, no, I'll be good, and just catch the highlights of the game after and try to go to as many games as I can in the season. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Rajendra says, no, not the trolley. It's the Tolly, the Tollington.
Not the trolley.
But yeah, so the Tollington pub, which is obviously pretty much the closest pub to the Emirates, isn't it? So definitely get yourself there if you can, and that's going to it's always good fun. So definitely do that. And it's at the start of the season. It's incredible, isn't it? Really, it feels strange being it's October, or it will be October 1st on Sunday, and it's the start of the season. It's like the COVID season, isn't it? When the season started in October, it seems strange starting this late. Normally it's summer, the sun's out, baking hot sunshine, and first game of the season. This might be a little bit chilly and windy and cold and stuff, but anyway, it's going to be good. And the season's here, and we've been looking forward to it for such a long time. It's been a long summer. Lots has happened. There's been World Cups, there's been transfers, there's been all kinds of drama. There's been Champions League exits and loads of penalty shootouts and all kinds of stuff. So, but all of that's in the past. We've now got to look forward to a great season, some great new players, some debuts on Sunday. It is just going to be fantastic, isn't it? So we're looking forward to the next 9 or 10 months, what it's going to bring us. Hopefully, it's going to bring us a lot of glory. But whatever it brings us, we're all going to enjoy it here, aren't we? All together on a Friday. Of course, next week we won't be able to do the show on a Friday because the game's on Friday, isn't it? Which is another annoying reason as to why they do it on a Friday. I'm sure they do it on purpose just to wind us up. But We'll have to maybe find another time to do the show next week.
Thursday.
We'll try and maybe fit it in at some point during the week if we can. We'll have to organise something. So yeah, we won't be on Friday. Of course, in terms of what's happening on the channel, I'm back tomorrow for the Bournemouth game in the Premier League. 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday is nice, isn't it? So I'll be here for that one, and of course Sunday as well. The big WSL kickoff. How excited! I'm so excited for this season. It's amazing. So let's hope that we can. The team lives up to our expectations that we've got from, which is that they're going to do fantastic. It's going to be great. Andreas, as always, a pleasure to have you on to start our weekend. Have you enjoyed the show?
Yeah, of course. Now the normal weeks are back with Friday, our show, and then starting the weekend. Of course, I enjoyed talking with you all. Nice to have Harry back, and looking forward to the weekend. But I think Amar has something for us. We have ignored his quiz question.
Yes. Oh, good. That's a good point, actually. I'd
A
always
good
forgotten about that.
reminder. I thought, no, I was going to say you could do it next week if you wanted. Yeah.
No. We've been looking forward to this. I completely forgot that we were doing this. So we'll have your little introduction because I forgot about this, actually. That's a good job Andreas reminded us here because I had forgotten.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that was good.
It's the highlight of the week.
I thought you forgot.
The weekend doesn't start until we do this. So it's going to be a good one. He's had all summer to prepare this one, so it's going to be good. I know it will be because it's quite a long time for this. Take us away then, Emma. Go on, hit us with this one.
I know. It's been increasingly difficult season upon season to think of questions. I think I've come up with some good ones though. But yeah, let's go with this one.
Yeah.
So, other than Alessia Russo, who is the only other Arsenal women player that has all 5 vowels in their name?
All 5 vowels.
There's only one other player who has all 5 vowels in their name, not including middle names, than Alessia Russo. Who is it?
That's a good question.
In their first name or full name?
Oh, for first and surname. Not including middle names or nickname.
That's Gio.
Oh, sugar. No, it's not Gio because she doesn't have an A in her name.
Because Giovanna, her name's Giovanna.
I didn't think of that. That's not. No. That's kind of difficult. No, that's not the one I was thinking. That's not the one I was thinking of, to be fair. I only thought Gio. Oh, yeah, just thought Kieros, but then it's Giovanna, isn't it? But do they really refer to her as Giovanna?
You know, I call her Gio, but
okay.
Catherine Cool has all 5 vowels in her full name.
Catherine Cool or Mola Cool, yeah. No, but I was only thinking there was only one other player I was thinking of. But yeah, you've actually defeated my question there, haven't you? So yeah.
Sorry,
Harry's too good, isn't he? Harry's just too good. Where's he been? He should have come for all the previous 2 years. Yeah, but there was only one player. Without shortening it to Gio or Cat or using middle names, there's just one other player, and that's what I was thinking. So yeah.
Manuel Zinsberger.
Oh, there's no Owen Manuel.
No, Laura Veen-Reuter.
Yes.
She's got an A, yeah.
Exactly. A-I-O-U. Exactly. Where's he been? Where's he been? He should be coming all the time, man.
I love a pub quiz.
Although, to be fair, Gio or Catherine Cool, we don't recall him Muller Cool, but yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I don't know. The Muller is it's a German. It's that O with the lines in it. So I don't know if it counts.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Andreas will be able
it's
to
like
tell
they
us
have
on
with
that.
the U as well in Wasmuth as well. They have that as well, don't they? Wasmuth as well. But it was
it's just a different way of saying the letter, isn't it? It's a different pronunciation of the letter, isn't it? I think rather than it being a different letter.
Yeah,
is that right?
I think I'm Catherine Monaco. Because Giovanna Kira is the answer as well. But I was thinking of Laura Veen-Reuter, so yeah, well done.
You asked me to stay. There I go.
to be fair,
good. I'm glad you did stay. Actually, yeah.
To be fair, Laura Wainwright has got pretty much every letter in the alphabet in her name, so it was a pretty good chance she was going to have all the vowels as well, wasn't it? Really, let's be honest. But yeah, no, that was pretty good actually. It's something a bit different to think about. Harry spoiled it by getting it so quickly, but there you go. That's what that's what it's about.
Yeah.
But no, that was good actually. I enjoyed that. It's always good to have something a little bit different to think about on a Friday night, isn't it? Before the weekend starts. So that was good fun. So Harry, anyway, obviously it's been fantastic to see you again back on the show. I know you can't always make it every week, which is a shame, but we do enjoy it when you can. Have you enjoyed being on again?
Oh, I loved it. It's really cool, and it's nice to see you guys.
Well, it's always nice to see you as well. And if anyone's around over at the toilet on Sunday or in the Emirates and you see Harry, say hello. You got the girls with you?
I'll have the girls, and I'll have one of my sons, and one of my son's friends is coming, and it's going to be his first WSL match.
Nice.
Wow.
So you got two 13-year-old boys. It's I'm really pleased about that because it's what they it's a good message for football.
It is. It is definitely a good message. And that's one of the things, isn't it? I do think sometimes in women's football, it's all focused on girls, isn't it? How girls can be inspired by it, and which is fair enough, but I think it can inspire boys as well. Kind of young boys need to be inspired by the women's team as well, and I think that's great.
Living the dream.
Exactly, it's living the dream. That's the message, isn't it? Whether you're a boy or a girl or something in between, it is about living the dream. Exactly, and that's what it's about. So yeah, if you see Harry and he'd be like the Pied Piper with all the children following him along. If you see him around on Sunday, it'll be nice to meet you all. And Emma as well, good to see you again. And we can actually see you this week, which is great. No light, which we like to see.
Yeah, well, no, we will be to most weeks. Don't worry, the lighting in my beer is way better. And it was quite dark, but now it's good. And hopefully next week we'll get time to do it. And if not, we can do it sometime next week. If not, then it'll give us even more to talk about in 2 weeks. So let's hope we can. But let's focus on Liverpool first. And it's great to have the team playing well again. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have another good season and build on that Conti Cup win, which was arguably our best moment of the season of the year so far. So yeah, bring it on, I say.
It was, yeah, the best moment of the year. Probably apart from, I think the only moment to top or to come close to the winning the Continental Cup was probably Alessia Russo's goal against Australia in the World Cup. I quite enjoyed that as well. That was a pretty moment, wasn't it? It's just a shame the final didn't quite go as we hoped. Rajendra says, which station is near to the pub? I suppose the nearest one would be Holloway Road. Holloway Road.
Oh, no, I tried finding it last time. I couldn't find it. So, yeah.
Holloway Road. You can't miss it. It's Tolleton Road and the pub's at the bottom on the corner. So you just cross over from Holloway Road. I came out of Arsenal Station. I went right out of Arsenal Station, but I couldn't find it. So it was probably Holloway Road. I mean, it's a little bit more tricky to find from Arsenal Station than it is. I mean, Holloway Road, you just basically come out of Holloway Road, just cross over, walk up a bit, Tolleton Road's there, walk down there, and the pub's on the end.
Holloway Road is closed on Sunday.
Oh, well, no. Yeah, no, I think I went the wrong way.
Is Holloway Road closed, is it Sunday?
Yeah. They wrote it in the mail.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Oh, yeah, because quite often on a match day it is closed, isn't it? Due to the fact that it gets too busy. But I think that Wolfsburg game, it was open. I'm sure we got off at Holloway Road when we went to a Wolfsburg game. But anyway, that was a midweek game, wasn't it? That makes a difference. But yeah, I know sometimes it is shut. Yeah, so maybe the Holloway Road is not open. In which case, if you get off at Arsenal, you just have to look on Google Maps, maybe. But anyway, it's not.
Yeah,
far
I was
from
on
Arsenal.
Holloway.
But it's a bit more difficult to find from there. It's easier from Holloway Road. You just go up the road, cross over, and it's there. Terry says, has anyone heard from Matt? Well, we've not actually heard from Matt for a while, but I know he's obviously he worked. He's got a different job, hasn't he, from last year, and he's not able to come on as often. But he'll be back on. Don't worry. He's still around. He's knocking around, and he will be back on at some point, but not quite at the moment. He's a bit busy. Terry says, great to see you all again. Up for the coming season, indeed. I'll be excited, very, very excited. Yeah, we're quite excited. Yeah, of course we are. And Amelia says how you feel like Aguna this day, you bottle in the large every season. The only thing, you make it fill up stadium, but no trophy. Well, we won a trophy last season.
Is it a Chelsea fan or what?
Is it a secret Chelsea fan? Yeah.
Is it a Chelsea fan?
Infiltrating.
What does it feel like to be 14?
We beat Chelsea in the final. Yeah, you're right. We do fill our stadium because we're a big club with a history and with a great fan base. Whereas what are Chelsea? You know what I mean? Nothing. So, of course you're not going to fill your stadium. No one cares about Chelsea. No one's bothered.
Kingston's technically not even in London. So, I don't know what he's chatting.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Chelsea's
we'll see. Exactly, that's all it is. In fact, even the nearest station's called Fulham Broadway. That's how small Chelsea are. They don't even have the station named after them. They have the
Brentford are the
station
best
named
team
after
in
their
West London.
rival.
You're not even the best
Yeah.
team in your own part of London. Is Brentford?
Exactly, yeah, it is exactly. So yeah. So anyway, never mind.
Yeah.
Terry says at least we haven't got Lauren James.
Lauren James.
Lauren James is all right. When she plays for England, she's all right.
Havertz,
Not
don't compare to
when she
Havertz.
goes to Chelsea, but we won't worry too much about Chelsea, will we? Because we are going to beat them this season. It's our year. It's our year. It's coming back to Meadow Park, the WSL title.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Anyway, it's been a great show. The weekend now officially is here because the show's finished. So enjoy your weekend. Obviously, it's a big weekend. There's Arsenal men playing tomorrow. Enjoy that as well. And of course, Sunday's a big one, isn't it? Start of the WSL. So excited for this season. Amar's there. Harry's there. If you're there, say hello because they'd appreciate that.
I'm not there. No, you mean Andreas is there, not me. You mean Andreas, not me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Andreas and Harry are there.
Right.
But Amar will be at Aston Villa game. So we'll all get to meet up again, I'm sure, at some point soon. But yeah,
we'll come to the Villa game. That'll be good.
Yeah, enjoy the game on Sunday. Go to the toilet and enjoy the fun because it's going to be even good. Rajendra says even the Chelsea fans. Yeah, I mean, even Chelsea fans. We're so big in winning with football. Even the Chelsea fans watch our show because that's how big we are. And Chelsea don't have a show. You find me a Chelsea women's show somewhere, you won't because no one's interested in talking about them. So we're glad to have you on board with us. But this is why you've had to watch our show because Chelsea haven't got one. They haven't got one. They might win the WSL every year, but they haven't got their own show. But yeah, so Regina says even Chelsea fans come to the Emirates. Yeah, they do. Yeah, of course they do. Everyone comes to the Emirates to watch Arsenal women because we are the best team in the world, and we're going to show it this season. And we're going to be sitting here in May. We're going to be gloating when Emilio comes on the channel, and we'll be saying, "Where's all your trophies gone?" Because we've got them all. That's going to be anyway, enjoy the game Sunday. I will see you tomorrow for the Bournemouth game at 2:45. And then, of course, we'll be here Sunday enjoying at the start of a great season. Thank you to all you guys in the chat. It's been a lot of fun. Even the Chelsea fan enjoyed it as well. We enjoyed having you with us. And obviously, thanks to Andreas, to Harry. Brilliant to see Harry back on the show. And, of course, Amar as well. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. And I'm sure you will. A couple of big Arsenal victories would be very nice. Terry says, have a great weekend, chaps. Looking forward to saying I told you so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that, won't we? I'll take a 1-0. I'll always take a 1-0, but I think I'm going 3-0. It's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy it. So I say enjoy your weekend. I will see you all very, very soon. And we will see. Well, we'll see at some point. Hopefully next week we can get a show together to look back on the Liverpool game, look ahead to Man U. Otherwise, it will have to be the week after. But yeah, so enjoy your weekend. I will see you soon. Take it easy. Come on, you Gunners. Let's start the season as we mean to go on. Take it easy, guys. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon, guys. Good to see you.